Hi. This is more a story of John finding a sucker than the boat getting restored.
Who's that?
You may recognize the boat from the journal on Should We Restore It or Not article. And that's how the boat was when it was given to John. The deck was pulling off. So he took it home and he started to operate on it, which means he ripped off the deck. He broke out all the frames because they were rotten in a flood. And then he goes, I need a victim. So I had joined the club last year, and then he loaned me a boat to race the nationals. And then at the end of the next year, he goes, well, you should take my class up at Wooden Boat School. I said, well, I don't have a boat to restore it. If you get into it, I'll give you a boat. Okay, remember that commercial for Life cereal? Let Mikey try it? Let Chucky try it. There's the boat when he gave it to me. No frames, no transom, no deck, just some planks held together with tape so they didn't spread, and a very unique bronze keel.
We didn't know it was bronze though at that time.
It was painted, yeah. So I started, fitting frames. John glued in a block for the transom, and I started putting frames in. And once we had the frames in here, I could strip it, and the planks were in really nice condition. And I said, I'm going to leave them. I'm not going to repaint, and I wanted to leave the bronze keel visible. We headed up to Wooden Boat School. I got the deck on, got it varnished. I mean, not varnished. Epoxied the hull a couple of times while I was up there. And I didn't get that much done on the boat in the week, but I had a wonderful time. And as he was teaching others how to, adjust the mast or do the rigging or, put on the deck, I'm standing nearby helping and listening. So when I got home, I could do all those steps I knew I wasn't going to get to up at Wooden Boat School. So February last year is when he handed it to me. I got in the class and took it home. My wife goes, that's not a boat, that's a Remnant. So she named the boat Remnant. And it got finished in September and sailed last year at National. So be careful when someone offers you something for free. But I had a ball doing it.
Why did they make the keel out of bronze?
I have no clue. I have no clue the design. I've looked at every picture and drawing of a Marblehead I can find, and nothing matches this really nice curve exactly. The weight, it was like 16 pounds, I think, so it was very close to what's John's boats? The Cheerios? No.
John Black.
Yeah, what are the three boats here? The
Cheerio.
Cheerio 1, 2, 3. So close in weight to the third one, the heavier boat. So that's the rig we matched was to a Cheerio.
John, to get at your question about the bronze keel,
Yeah.
I think some of it, I've thought about that a lot because I've seen a couple.
Yeah.
But they're very rare. I think maybe somebody had access to a bronze, somebody did bronze casting.
Okay.
But what we found with some other some other bronze keels is that they're slush cast and then they're poured full with lead. So it's for decoration. Yeah, there's an A-boat that someone has that is exactly that. It's a beautiful bronze keel, but he had it off the boat and you could see the lead.
Okay.
So they're pouring into a mold that they can turn over, the bronze.
Okay.
And within seconds of the bronze hitting the mold, they turn it over and pull it out. So you get like an 8-inch shower. And then they fill it with the lead, give them the weight.
Yeah, I mean, lead is denser and cheaper and easier to cast.
Correct.
But, yeah.
Now, from what we can tell,
Doesn't ding up as much
right.
when it's short.
when we had the keel off, which now epoxied and bolted on, it looked like it's solid bronze.
This is
We
solid
could see
bronze.
no.
So
Yeah.
you don't know the actual
I don't know
design of it?
I don't know the designer. I don't know the date. I don't know who built it.
Oh, you built it.
Well,
He rebuilt it.
I rebuilt it, but
That boat should definitely be up for an award.
And then I was able to find Fisher fittings as much as I could, and
Was that original?
no, the rudder was gone, and so I mean, my theory, one of the questions in the article is have a plan, and once I saw the planking, which is all hand pegged, little pegs in it, I wanted to display that. I came up with bright and shiny, so I kept the keel shiny, and I wanted shiny brass, and
You did a pretty good job cleaning
I-
up the
I did my rudder, and I just kind of veneered it with very thin brass on the rudder. It's unnecessary weight. I know that, guys. It's not about perfect sailing. It's also about style, and
That boat sails pretty well.
it does sail. Well, I got 6 last year with it, and only been in the water a couple of weeks. So.
One thing your question about design, one thing that we know as a vintage group is we have kept terrible records in the US. If we have a British boat, I email our colleagues in England, and within a day, they can tell me who designed the boat, who built the boat, who's owned the boat through years. And it doesn't matter what vintage class it is. They've got exquisite records. Our records are all over the place, if they're even existent. But one of the things that we're working on, and part of all the background work that we're doing in the Vintage Group's website, is to eventually have a model yacht database that anybody can go in and access. And then we'll start with our sail number data. We have some other data that we'll start putting in there, so it's gonna become a really robust set of data about vintage boats. But it's just, we haven't been good stewards.